Now, God promises us healing and restoration. And we're going to talk a fair amount about that this weekend. You know, we cannot always avoid the pain that wounds us, but we can choose to not let it ruin the remainder of our lives. Many people in here have been hurt, some very badly, and some of you have done some really bad things in your life. And I think that a lot of times people park at the point of their pain. How many people get hurt by their parents and they never really ever get over that? You might have somebody who was adopted. For whatever reason, their parents didn't want them. They weren't able to keep them. Or let's just take it to the extreme. They didn't want them. They didn't want them. And they can spend their whole entire life, trying to recover from that. And many of you know Chris Kane's story, and you know, I don't want to get into whatever she might be going to share in her messages, but even if I do, she'll share it better than me. You know, she found out when she was, what, 30? 33, that she was adopted. She never knew that. And make a long story short, she finally got a hold of her birth certificate, and her birth certificate said unwanted and unnamed. Unwanted and unnamed. And look at her now. Look at what she's doing now. Look at her. She didn't park at the point of her pain. My father sexually abused me for as many years as I could possibly remember. I didn't park at the point of my pain. I decided I was going to go ahead and have a life. I remember meeting a woman in a restaurant in Utah, and soon as she saw me and recognized me, she wanted to tell me her story. And so she's telling me how bad things are and how bad things have been. And she said, I'll tell you, Joyce, life has just thrown me under the bus. I said, you know what? It did me too, but I decided to drive it. Come on. I mean, it's time to shake some of this stuff off. It's time to stop just living your life with a chip on your shoulder, acting like everybody owes you something because you went through some pain. There's no doubt if you've been hurt, you are owed something, but I'll tell you what, God is the only person that can pay you back. Nobody else can, and as long as you're trying to collect from the wrong people, you are going to be miserable and stay miserable. God is in the business of healing and restoration. Your entire life does not have to be ruined because somebody hurt you way back when, or last week, or last night, and even if you did some terrible things. There are people sitting in here tonight, and I'm sure people watching by TV, that, like Miss Shepherd, you've done something wrong, and you're hiding it. You're hiding from it. Maybe you didn't hit somebody with your van and run off, but it could have, maybe you hurt somebody. Maybe you're in prostitution. Maybe you had several abortions and now you wish that you wouldn't have done that. You know, regret is pretty much useless. We can be sorry for the things that we've done, but then we need to receive our forgiveness and we need to go on. I mean, living with regret will just suck the life right out of you. Amen? And if you've done wrong things in the past and you're still holding that against yourself, it's time for you to say, I am going to shake that off. I am going to, you know, when I think about sometimes the things that were done to me when I was a child, to be honest, at this point, I feel like I'm thinking about somebody that I used to know a long, long time ago. It's like that's so much not me anymore. I don't sit around. I mean, now sometimes it'll come back to my mind and I have to decide, nope, been there, done that, not going back there. But you have to make decisions. You can't just go by what you feel all the time. God promises to heal and restore.
We hope you enjoyed this teaching. To get more from Joyce, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.